Hey, welcome one and all to the Granblue Fantasy Community League right here. Yes, that is right. We have a special guest this time. It's Zombie Moo here joining me on the desk here for commentary. And I'm just so excited to have you for this because, this is a community league, right? So what better to have one of the community's leaders, one of the community's pro players here to join me?
Yeah, thank you. Happy to be here. I was able to be here for the last North American event, but for that one, I was a player, and today I'll be joining you all with some commentary and some insight. So looking forward to doing it with one of the best too, Ivana I played.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I would say the same sentiments of you, but you know what else is something that I consider to be some of the best? It's the prizes that we get here for the Granblue Fantasy versus Community League. Now, some of the prizes that these players are playing for are not just what you normally consider to be prizes for one of these things, the monetary gain, but also we get exclusive in-game skins for all competitors. You can just show up, play one match, play two matches, you get a skin, right? And so that's your character of choice can look as swank as these that you see right here.
Yeah, and I do love these skins. They're very colorblind friendly.
Yeah, that's
As
the important part, right?
as a colorblind player myself, I'll get full usage out of the black and white here. Very slick.
You can't give that information away because now everybody's gonna try to counterpick you to a certain stage.
Yeah, they pick the wrong color on the wrong stage, and I'll be sweating. But
Yeah.
yeah, we've got some of the East Coast finest playing today. Zerom and Wavy in the winner side, and then Wavy Deity and Apple for you in the loser side. Both going to be some very close matches, I'm sure. Uh,
Yeah, no, I mean that's kind of how it's been the name of the game, right? For most of the community league, especially I obviously because we are in winners, I am looking forward to Zerom and Wavy, but pretty much this is a personal thing for me. Apple for you is somebody that I watch in a lot of these brackets and personally enjoy seeing her play, right? And
yeah, of course.
so
I mean, I
it's
think she's a bit of a fan favorite, even representing the Zoe.
yeah, exactly.
Not a common character, and definitely a very technical one. So always interested to see her setups. But going back to this winners match, Zerom and
Hmm.
Wavy. This is actually a bit of a grudge match. These two
Hmm.
had to play at Evo on winner's side. Zerom got the better of Wavy that time around, but knowing both these players, they're not sleeping on each other. They're both
No.
expecting to have to give their all in these matches to really succeed, um, and that's I think we're gonna really see it in the quality of the games.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean that is going to be winners finals as well. So you got to remember that is going to determine who makes it to grand finals on winner side, which gives you quite an advantage, and that's the advantage that you want always going into one of these things, right? Because when you're going up against somebody who has shown that they can beat you, having an extra advantage is very very helpful.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, winning this set here is going to be pivotal if they want to be able to take the entire qualifier and make it to our finals.
Yeah, and so just to give anybody at home who may be a little bit new to the double elimination format of brackets, one thing is that everybody has two lives, right? You have two chances. So if you lose, you still have another chance. You have to lose twice to be fully out of the tournament, and so that goes even for the person who made it all the way to grand finals on winner's side, right? They have two lives just like everybody else. So whomever makes it from losers finals to grands is going to have to end up being able to take two sets over the person in grand. That's what we're talking about in terms of an advantage, right? Is that they get the extra set in it. So, but with the grudge match happening that we're going to be seeing here, it's one of those things where you're talking about not sleeping on each other, but also that they had some time to be able to study at this point, right? Because Evo was a little bit ago, and they've definitely run into each other after Evo because there's been a lot of time to play each other on lobby nights and just overall online, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Both these players are pretty active in the online tournament scene too. I mean, uh, it's not as common in some games, but especially in Granblue Fantasy versus a lot of our active online, net players who play in the online tournaments. They're the same people who are successful offline. Uh, the game kind of came up in this online world, so uh, there's a lot of correlation between the online and offline events. So you've
Yeah.
definitely seen them playing against each other online and practicing for each other, and I know that even though Wavy took the loss last time, she's not the type of player to let that get her down. She wants to come back and be stronger and, stick it 2-0. not just, say, oh yeah, Zerom's too good. I could never beat him. That's not the type of person Wavy is.
You usually can't make it to this position in a bracket having that mentality in the first place, right? Because you have to have kind of a golden mentality to make it far, especially in Granblue this day and age, right? A lot of the people that are playing the game have really honed their craft. And when you make it to top 4 of a bracket in any game, you're fighting anybody that has honed their craft. And so you're on the winner's side. That's the 2 strongest people in the bracket. Like, you can bring nothing but your A game. You can bring nothing but your best mentality. You have to make sure that you're bringing it all to the table right here, right now.
Right, and I think this bracket especially, looking at who's in like the West bracket, who's in the East bracket, who's in the North bracket, who's in the South bracket. I think this bracket especially is one of the hardest to call exactly who's going to be able to take it all of the way. I think these 2 we have in winners right now, Wavy and Zerom, definitely 2 of the favorites here. All right, and we're just hopping into that.
Okay, so Wavy is going to go with the CAG.
Yeah, we're seeing both, no surprises here with the character picks. Zerom almost solely representing the Charlotta. Wavy, she has a few choices that she can go to.
Yeah.
Cagliostro, definitely the one she's the most well-known for, but if things go awry, or maybe she feels a counter pick is necessary, we might see like a Percival, or a Belial, or even a Cheetah coming out.
Yeah, that's why I was like kind of holding my breath in terms of character pick, because like when it comes to Zerom, I can just know, right? It's most likely going to be Charlotta. There's a chance that it could be another character, but that chance is so slim. But definitely not a slim chance to get caught by one of the portals if you're right on top of it right there. Card string comes out.
Yeah, really early lead going Wavy's way, but Zerom quickly catching back up.
Yeah, missed full conform right there. Yeah, exactly. Was trying to confirm off of the jump H, but just a little bit too late. And ooh, yeah, caught the dodge. And that's going to be full confirm here for Zerom into plus frames. No, there's the spot dodge to try and get away from it. The overdrive comes out.
Yeah, always happy to see those ODs successful, Wavy setting herself up to make this comeback with the higher damage. The SSB on deck. Full combo here.
Oh, yeah, wanted the 2U into probably the Super Skybound art right afterwards, but just a little bit too early, it looks like, and just gets on the wrong side.
Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of a drop there, but, Wavy's still sitting in a pretty good position here, getting tons of chip damage coming out, and missing the punish on the DP there, that would have sealed it. OD making the difference there. All of those block normals adding some additional chip damage and bringing Zerom down.
Yeah, that is the big thing, right, is you really don't want to take too big of a block string, and that was super smart. So that was actually one of the situations that Zerom had taken a lot of damage from previously, right? It landed right into the web, and then, had to take a full combo, but instead used the unique action from Charlotta, which is a parry, to parry it, and now is no longer on the back foot, is in fact on the offensive, has the corner now.
Yeah, Zerom is no stranger to this matchup. You can't be a top player in North America without knowing a thing or two about fighting CAG. And really able to show off his matchup knowledge there by landing on the Mayhem and using the counter. But Wavy taking things very quickly with a strong offensive sequence there.
Yeah, the first universal overhead used so far in the set, just to clear out the first game. Now that's going to, give Zerom a second thing to think about in those situations, but nice on the anti-air on the other side, using the 5H.
Yeah, going in for a little bit of an offensive sequence here, but gets the 5H jumped, and suddenly the situation changes.
Yeah, that air-to-air was really, really good right there. A lot of people have a lot of trouble with stopping Charlotta's jumps because she falls like a rock, right? Like, she gracefully floats up, and then she's immediately on the ground. And so a lot of people are not so used to being able to stop her air approach, but that air-to-air was really important because, look at what it's afforded to Wavy, right? She's now got the corner, and she forced an overdrive out of Zerom. Ooh, overdrive packet spot dodge!
Wow, amazing dodge coming out from Zerom. That's exactly what you needed to come back there.
But no full conversion into knockdown here, and that's going to allow Wavy to walk away, set up, yeah, the rock, right into calculated, right into Super Skybound art, finishing off that round. Wavy just needs one more.
Yeah, probably going to see a lot more of those M-Spheres coming out from Wavy, too. The zoning doing a lot of work here on Charlotta, who's really trying to get in and get her offensive game plan started. But again, we see another anti-air coming out from Wavy, which is really shutting down one of Zerom's approach options.
Yeah, just recognizing like where she needs to be in terms of those anti-airs. And yeah, you just notice the spacing throughout this entire set, right? The spacing has just been the name of the game for Wavy. She has been just properly placing buttons in such good spots. Back
Of course, the CAG 5H gotta be one of the better 5Hs in the game.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunate timing on the throw attempt there. Zerom finds himself in a really dangerous situation in the corner, but manages to DP out.
Ooh, yeah, tried to catch the whiff punish with that Charlotta ball there on the 5U. The 5U is fully charged. Super Skybound Dart, though. Yeah, and that was at the very beginning of the auto combo, so it should have enough.
Yeah, should easily seal out the round for Zerom here. And we saw that, you know, Zerom being undeterred by these anti-airs, realizing that it's still an extremely useful tool for Charlotta to try to jump these 5Hs and really get in there and do some damage. And we're seeing a huge anti-air coming out the way of Zerom this time.
Yeah, I mean, if Zerom gets anti-aired mid-screen, it's not nearly as bad if Zerom gets anti-aired like in the corner, right? So whereas like mid-screen or the corner allows for so much for Zerom, if they do get that jump in, because they can take Cagliostro all the way to the corner, and then she's got to deal with it defensively. And her defensive options are system mechanics, right? Well, and then there's another jump in.
Great ways of calling out throws, but a little bit harder time dealing with this kind of stagger pressure that Zerom's representing. And we just saw that. I mean, obviously Wavy had the advantage in the first round, and even taking the first game, but ended up getting run over just a bit by Charlotta's strong offense.
Oh, yeah, wanted to use the parry there on the jump in, but Wavy actually pressing no buttons to ensure that the counter hit was not possible, right? Like that's one of the things is sometimes you know you've made a jump where the opponent can hit you, so you don't press anything because you know you're going to get hit, and you don't want the counter hit because you don't want the big starter.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Charlotta's anti-air game is maybe one of her weak points. She has to rely on her flash kick a lot, and also you saw that Zerom likes to use the parry. You know, it's a pretty fast parry, and it's very good if you press the jump in. But huge anti-air into super conversion, putting Zerom in like a really strong situation.
Yeah, that's actually one of the few zones where but uses the rush, and then yeah, the Blanca ball is gonna hit. Excuse me, Charlotta ball.
Yeah, it gets caught out of the Mayhem startup.
Oh yeah, want the whiff punish right there on the Ouroboros. Yeah, tries to go for universal overhead, gets a spot dodge. That's a punish, yep, and then gets the best one.
Yeah, opts to go for a side switch instead of finishing the combo there. Taking the corner, you know, obviously corner strong in most games, but I think it's going to be especially strong here. Excellent clash sequence going the way of Wavy.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, too, where your opponent has to be privy to the fact that you might go for that, right? Because otherwise you just have the timing. But there it is, that far 5H right into Skybound Dart. It's not going to kill, but you're basically in check situation. OD has to be looked at this point, I would assume.
Yeah, chip damage is really starting to become a factor for Zerom, but with this offensive situation changing, yeah, you see the offensive OD coming out. It can be a lot harder to watch for OD while you're on defense than when you're, on offense yourself.
Yeah, and that's why you saw Zerom set it up like that. But, just got caught standing at the last second. Actually counter hit, so, press the button at the very last second there. And now, final round of game number 3 here.
Yeah, final round, final game. Both players looking extremely evenly matched. Really going to come down to who can hold the momentum. And Zerom losing his just now, with Wavy escaping the corner with the throw bait.
Yeah, tried to go for the safe jump setup there by holding the rock, but still ended up getting the holy ladder here. Push back to the corner now. And Calculated is gone up until now. So Calculated is here, and so now you have to watch out for that spear.
Yeah, you need to really look out for the zoning here. You don't want to eat a Calculated. No punish on the DP, dodge just a bit too late.
Yeah, and I mean, there it is again. Yeah, using that dodge so it doesn't have to worry about, having to go for the 50-50 mix-up afterwards, right? Got the hit, but no full conversion here. Calculated is gone again, but another beautiful anti-air.
No conversion, though. Very unfortunate for Wavy. I think she was really hoping for that Alexandria to seal the deal, but gets the run-up 5A.
Yeah, and that anti-air would have been a lot easier for Wavy to have hit if she had Calculated up still, but had just used it, right? And it was on the EX. But, I mean, not going to end up mattering. As the situation was super good in their favor for that one. So that's going to put Wavy into grand finals on the winner's side, as Zerom is going to be moving down to the loser's bracket.
Yeah, so Wavy's sitting pretty with that winner's advantage, definitely. I think coming up next, we're going to have the loser's semis match. And there we have, ironically, we have Wavy's brother, Wavy the Idiot. You know, maybe they've got the good Granblue versus genetics running through their blood.
It helps when you
both of
can
them.
have a training partner, right? Like,
You know, you always think that, right? That, you know, oh, they're brothers, of course they probably play, or like, you know, brother sister, like they probably play all the time. But you know, I feel like sometimes you ask them, like, yeah, we never play. Like,
yeah, that's true. You're right. You're right.
you know, if you had like a sibling growing up, it's like, oh yeah, we play games together all the time, and then like, oh, well, last time like they got real salty, like we don't play games together anymore.
Either that or the schedule doesn't match up. You know, it's one of the two. But yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, no, I mean, all adults here. Got our own busy lives, and maybe they do, maybe they don't. Maybe that's a question to ask later if Wavy manages to, you know,
make it, yeah, because
Make it
Wavy
all the
Deity
way.
is going to be having to go up against Apple for You, whom we did talk about a little bit ago. So I'll just go over Apple for You just real quick. Also known as guard user in certain circles, and plays Zoe, right? So that's the only character that I've seen her play in recent memory. Not even
Yeah,
like
I know
looking
she's
for a counter
capable.
pick, right?
Of playing a few other characters, but I don't expect that we would see her use them in tournament.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Almost exclusively going to be the Zoe. Coming off of some strong tournament results, she placed 13th at EVO, 5th at ECT just this last weekend. You know, she lost in winners here today to Wavy, and these two actually have history. Wavy Deity and Apple for You. So Wavy Deity, not as active in the Granblue Fantasy versus scene as he used to be, but one of his more recent tournament results is Bum's Birthday Bash back in April, where
Yeah.
he placed, I believe, 7th. And the player who actually defeated him in losers was Apple for You. So she's got a bit
Another
of
run back, you know,
the head-to-head advantage. Yeah, this could be a run back though. You know, we saw the winners finals match went the other way. You know, it's very possible the loser semis also.
Yeah, that's the thing is you always want you always want that revenge after the last time, right? Because you know you're the one who stopped my bracket run, and now it's your chance to stop Apple's bracket run if you're Wavy Deity. But I guess you know we're going into it already, so I mean I don't think there's really much of a surprise right now in terms of character pick.
Yeah, absolutely. We're seeing both mains coming out in full force. You know, Wavy Deity maybe not play as much couldn't learn a new character, but I don't think he'd want to. He does still seem to enjoy the fairy, and we're just seeing a bit of zoning coming out, and some really great patient play from Apple.
Yeah, and I mean, Fairy's not a super popular character these days, right? She is actually incredibly niche, to be quite honest with you, and that lends a lot of help to match up inexperience versus some of the players. They forget about things that Fairy can do because, you know, she's not super popular.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to call out how amazing that hit confirm was, you know. Wavy Deity played neutral for a solid 30 seconds. The very first time Apple gets hit, you know, we saw that 236H come out and full hit confirm. Unfortunately dropping this combo here, but that was looking like a dominant round. But Apple being given a chance to come back, gets the offensive OD and is going to start chipping her way to victory.
Oh, and what a great response there from Wavy Deity. Recognized that the throw bait was out and then was like, oh, well, you jumped, so now I have a free anti-air on you. Especially because you jumped forward, right? You put yourself in the perfect position for my close M.
Yeah, I really like that answer too. It wasn't just one answer to the jump throw bait, you know. He didn't just see her jump and anti-air. He saw her jump, walked under, and anti-air. Very impressive stuff coming out from Wavy Deity in the first round.
Yeah, and I mean, you've noticed in the first round was a lot of reactionary plays, and they're super strong. But now the Heinrichten is out, so there's going to be reverse beats on deck, so you're going to canceling other normals into other normals, yeah, and that gives full conversions.
Yeah, and that's got to be one of the scariest defensive situations in the game. You know, when Fairy has install activated and is on top of your head, you're blocking GG, you just have to guess. And fortunately for Apple, she guessed incorrectly.
Yeah, and it can be so hard to deal with Heinrichten, especially because, like, you can do triple overheads, you know, and there it is, another reactionary anti-air for Wavy Deity.
Yeah, Apple just not able to get anything done with these jumps and immediately confirms the counter hit. Excellent spinning slash coming out from Apple, being able to take the offensive from that hard knockdown.
Yeah, the spinning slash is super nice. It may not be invincible from the first frame, but it does start to gain invincibility later, and it's super quick, right? So Ooh, the offensive overdrive again. That's the second time.
Yeah, I think Apple's really hoping to get a lot of work done just by adding chip damage to her normals here. Force Wavy D80 to step away from the patient game plan that he's been running so successfully.
Yeah, I mean, there's the 2U, though. Nice sweep at just the farthest range. You know, that's one of the better sweeps for the distance. Tried to go for full conversion. There's the Thunder, and yeah, 2M. Recognize when the when Learn was moved, and the second Learn was moved, there was recovery frames, and that's an easy punish.
And we see again, Wavy D80 landing the first strike here, just getting the initiative, running his offense.
Yeah, it feels really difficult to stop anything when the reactions are this strong. Went for a hard read on that one, and it looks like Apple for You guessed correctly.
Yeah, I mean, especially as a Fairy player, one of the things you definitely want to look for in a match, and will always help her out, is having this kind of dominant life lead. One of her weaknesses is maybe not being able to approach as well.
Yeah.
But when you have the life lead, that's okay. You're not required to approach, and instead, you force your opponent to make these mistakes. And just capitalize off them, just punishing that EX Lightning from the air, getting a hard punish on the landing. Wavy Deity going to take that set.
Yeah, so Wavy Deity going to be moving on, and that was Apple for You's last chance here in the bracket, so going to be going home with this one. But yeah, making the top 4, that's a hard bracket to get through, made it all the way through.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she's had a lot of consistent tournament placings up to this point, and this is another one on the belt.
Yeah, it doesn't stop here either, because we definitely have more going. But so Wavy Deity is going to be moving on, going to be fighting Zerom, probably trying to fight the sibling battle there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's if you have to play your sibling, you know, why not in grand finals, right?
Yeah, and so that's what we're gonna be waiting on. So remember, there is going to be Wavy Deity versus Zerom next. And just like we were talking about a second ago, these are not the last ones, right? This isn't a one-off thing. There are multiple Granblue Fantasy versus Community League events that you can enter. If you just go to bit.ly/GBVS you too can enter in one of your particular regions. Zombie Moo here to my side has entered in one of them and taken a W in one of them. And you can get one of those skins that we were talking about a little bit earlier, or, you know, you can also just get into the finals if you're strong enough, because I believe in you, and I'm sure Zombie does too. And so,
absolutely.
Granblue
is a game that rewards your practice, so if you sit down, grind, get strong, you could be in the finals too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what we're going to do is we're going to give you a little bit of time to go ahead and sign up for that league. And again, that's bit.ly/GBVS League. And we're going to take a short break, but once we come back, we're going to get right back into the final 2 matches here, or the final 3 matches, excuse me, of our top 4. And we're going to crown a champ, the first champ here of the East Side. So stick around, don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everyone, to the Granblue Fantasy versus Community League. We just saw our first two matches, putting Wavy up into the grand finals on winner's side. And now we have to round out the rest of this bracket, figuring out who's going to be challenging for the first crown on the east side. And I am Ebonic Plague, and I am joined here by Zombie Moo as our special guest. Wonderful to have you.
Yeah, as usual, glad to be here. Always love to see some top-notch Granblue, and that's exactly what we have. We watched before the break. We saw Zerom manage to take it, Wavy managed to take it over Zerom in what was a sort of a run back from Evo. And this time, things going a little bit differently. Wavy moving on to grand finals. And then on the loser side of things, Wavy Deity having a pretty fierce run this tournament. Actually, looking back at the bracket, Wavy Deity went down in losers in round 1 to Tega as a first round.
Wow.
And he has made it all the way back, clawing through tons and tons of strong players. We see here Rowlet, Merp,
2-0, 2-0, 2-0.
looking absolutely unstoppable. And the only person who stopped him so far, Tega, is already out of the bracket, losing to Apple for You just before the top 4. So Wavy Deity's Fairy is looking just a little bit unstoppable. But speaking of unstoppable, up until this winner's finals, Zerom hadn't dropped a single game.
Yeah.
Going up against Tega and Umbi, and I believe 1 or 2 other players. 2-0 all the way through up until Wavy throwing a wrench into his plans to sweep the entire tournament.
Yeah, and I mean, Wavy may have dropped 1 or 2 games, but did not drop the exclusive in-game skin that you can get by entering, because they showed up, they played, their games, and, well, they're still in the bracket, but, I mean, everybody that, even out of the bracket, as long as you showed up and you entered, you get this skin right here. So, make sure to sign up for your next one over at bit.ly/GBVsLeague, GBVS League. And you can sign up for, the one in your region. Make sure to check the rules to figure out which one that you're allowed to sign up for. And you can just get one of these exclusive in-game skins. As Zombie was mentioning previously when we started the broadcast, they're colorblind friendly.
Yeah, absolutely. And these are, of course, the same skins that are awarded to competitors in the Psy Games Cup. And this is the first time they're available here in the West for us. So, very nice to be able to get your hands on a little bit of exclusive in-game colors here.
Yeah. So, but that's not the only thing that they're all fighting for. There are monetary prizes here for the Granblue Fantasy versus Community League, and there is a finals bracket as well that everybody is trying to qualify for.
Yeah, absolutely. The winner from this North American East is going to qualify for the final bracket and going to get a piece of that monetary prize. But we're hopping now into the losers finals. Again, no huge surprises here on characters. Zerom representing his classic Charlotta and Wavy Deity, bringing out the fairy that we just saw cause so much mayhem to Apple Zoe.
Yeah, and I mean, if anything, we did see the level of reactions coming out from Wavy Deity on anti-airs in particular. And so we had earlier talked about Zerom in the winner's set, where jumps were kind of getting bodied, right? So you got to wonder if anti-airing jumps just kind of runs in the family. How comfortable does Zerom start to feel in terms of jumping now at this point?
Yeah, I mean, you really don't want to be forced into a jump, and losing the full screen interaction there right into an Oki's setup, blocking it out, but taking a significant amount of chip damage in the process.
Yeah, and there it is right there. See the 2H. Oh, yeah, wanted to use the parry to be able to catch the jump in again. And, I mean, we saw that not really work out for Zerom before, but what a pickup there off behind Ripton activation.
Yeah, huge meaty setup, and we're seeing a full combo come out into another knockdown, and huge life lead for Wavy Deity here, I talked a little bit about how important that life lead for Fairy is, and it's especially so in the Charlotta matchup. Charlotta, when she has the life lead in this matchup, is more than happy to just down back, anti-air with the flash kick, poke with the ball, and cause all kinds of problems for Fairy. But when that's not available to you, you have to play a little riskier.
And I mean, a little riskier is something that a lot of Charlotte mains are privy to having to eventually do. Ooh, caught the backdash here, and that's kind of the risk that you take, right? You go for the noble strategy, mix up, and that could open you up to an anti-air, but Zerom, not carrying, has such a life lead. He's going to be able to take it with the Skybound art. One apiece.
Yeah, that command grab being a huge starter. Forced to be crouched, but Wavy Deity unfortunately getting that backdash and just gets scooped into half his health.
Just the button placement super strong right here. And then, yeah, the reaction there off of the EX Charlotta ball. Going to be able to jump over that medium. That's important. They set up here after the chip damage. Late tech, and that's great for Zerom because you're still taking damage despite you teching these throws.
Yeah, Zerom doing his best to make the most out of this situation, but Wavy Deity going to get out of the corner with a dive kick, but then immediately placed right back into it.
Oh, the overdrive is going to connect, yeah, because there's no way to get out of that at that point. You've already used Noble Strategy, so the overdrive is guaranteed.
Overhead coming out for Zerom, manages to DP on wake up. Oh, huge ball super coming out, going to blow up Zerom's attempt to approach.
Yeah, had already used the EX ball and just kind of ran straight into the Skybound art, and that was kind of unfortunate for Zerom on timing-wise, but really good call by Wavy Deity, right?
Yeah, great usage of meter there by Wavy Deity. First, using the OD to get out of pressure, and then using the ball super to control the screen and secure the win.
Oh, and that GG forcing Zerom to want to jump on this one, and yeah, and again, GG, but no punish! I mean, another forcing of like a Dragon Punch there was what Wavy Deity went for, but not actually getting the punish on the attempt.
Yeah, it was a great bait, but unfortunately, Charlotta's DP is a little bit safer than most of them, and Fairy is close heavy a bit on the slow side, so not able to collect the damage.
Yeah, I gotta go for a close medium or something. You know, some characters maybe have to get in the light, I'm not sure, but I think everybody's close medium is at least fast enough. It could be wrong.
Yeah, Fairy should be able to punish with the close medium, but the proxy range is a little bit different, so you can't always guarantee that you're going to get a close medium with the far medium. But great side switch combo coming out from Wavy.
Ooh, yeah, and that's going to be the finish right there. Straight to Skybound.
Just jump over, Zerom managing to put that round together, stay on the board, wanting to tie it up 1-1, hopefully.
Yeah, Wavy Deity already looking for a jump at the very beginning, just shooting Beppo up to the top of the screen.
Yeah, and there we see the EX ball being effective against Fairy's slower, lower priority normals, blowing up a 2M, and scoring Zerom a hard knockdown.
Okay, there's another knockdown on this one, the plus frames. Ooh, caught the button press here. The frame traps have been paying off here for Zerom quite a bit, and yeah, wanted to get that punish there, but no dice.
Wavy unfortunately able to block out the DP, but Zerom's going to take this round.
Yeah, with the jump light, which is active all the way to the ground. Everybody's got that universal like the button that just kind of goes on the way down.
Yeah, a huge number of active frames manages to close it out. We're beginning to see this matchup show a little bit more of its, I'd say, true colors.
Yeah.
It can be a little bit challenging for the Fairy player to keep Charlotta out, but Wavy Deity is showing that he's no slouch. Hard matchup or not, he's going to do his best to zone the Charlotta player and try to get something going.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that we haven't really gotten to mention, right, is like, while, that's going to be big, while Fairy does have a Dragon Punch and is able to push away players from her defensively, the Dragon Punch is not like the strongest of Dragon Punches, right? And it's also that players can get close to you very easily because your buttons are slower at the far range, right? They may take up a lot of space, but they have the recovery, they have the slowness to them.
Yeah, the DP is a little bit slower. You do have to use the EX version to get the invincibility. So you do end up with it on cooldown. The knockdown isn't always the best. But speaking of knockdowns, this is a great knockdown situation for Wavy Deity. Going immediately into that 2-3-6H and getting the corner switch. But gets a throw baited here by the jump over JM from Charlotta, one of her sort of signature corner escapes. Totally changing the flow of the match here.
Yeah, and this is exactly what you're talking about. This was the super hard position, and that was good spacing right there from Zerom to stay out of the sweep range, and has now just started to push the advantage. The ODs comes out, but was already spot dodged by Zerom!
Yeah, extremely wise decision by Zerom there. Inputting a spot dodge OS when he came down with that jump in. Manages to bait the OD, knowing that Wavy Deity wanted to get that chip damage protection and perhaps even get out of the corner. But ends up losing the round instead.
Yeah, and so that's going to be putting Zerom back on the run back here, is what we're looking at. But yeah, so taking the third place is Wavy Deity. Again, another really strong placing. It's very hard to get this far.
Honestly, incredible run by him. That first place losers is,
first round
losers is like, not the position you want to be in. If you run it all the way back to top 3, maybe you're feeling kind of good about the next qualifier. You know, you got a couple things to clean up here. You know, figure out, oh yeah, how am I going to deal with Zerom jumping over me, or you know, what am I going to do when I run into Tega again, and take some notes, hit up the training mode, and then take the next qualifier.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's got to be a strong morale boost, right? So just start. Oh, I went to losers round 1, but then I cleaned it up. I was able to get good the rest of the way through. So it's a matter of like, okay, how do I start like how do I start like I ended?
Yeah, how do I play like that from the beginning? You know, so I don't end up running out of steam just a little bit towards the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, it should be another incredible grand finals though. I mean, the Wavy Zerom set was extremely close. Definitely a set I enjoyed, and looking forward to seeing them play again, because it could easily have gone the other way.
No, I mean, and it did at one point recently, right? We were talking about the run back and how this was a run back from previously, and how the tides have shifted, and maybe, you know, Zerom needs that power boost to get back. But that's one of the things is you play somebody in a winner's set. You take the L, but you learn from it, right? Same thing from the person who's like sitting in winners. Wavy has all this time to watch Zerom while they go through the losers bracket just to get back to them. But here we are, grand finals here. East side, Zerom on the loser side, Wavy on the winners. And remember, Zerom has to win 2 sets because everybody gets 2 chances.
Yeah, and we're absolutely going to be seeing the adaptations coming out from both these players. Not going to be the same exact set we saw 20 minutes ago.
Yeah. And Zerom definitely wants to make it so that not both of the American leagues were won by Cagliostro.
Cagliostro maybe not his favorite character.
Oh, that's going to be a punish on this one. Yeah.
A big punish come out from Wavy. Just auto combo into super. Closes out the round. Moving on to round 2. Wavy maybe still having the better of things for the time being, but Zerom with the blood of her brother on his hands, trying to make a comeback here.
Yeah, right there, full conversion on it. And this is going to be great for the setup. Yeah, and immediately goes for this, the dodge, recognizing what the situation was. A little bit early on the 2H there, just too far away. Excuse me, not too early.
Yeah, not quite reading that spacing correctly, and Zerom got a small punish. Not quite ready to collect a full combo, but using the rush down to fight his way through that 5H and close out the round.
Yeah, so you saw Wavy use the rush down first, right, to go like invincible through, get the plus frames, and try to get back on the offensive, but then Zerom used rush down in response to get past the plus frames because there is invincibility there. So you get past the plus frames of whatever Wavy tries to do, and then, you know, you take your offense back. It's kind of an RPS game that you don't want to have to deal with if you don't have to.
Yeah, the rush down, it's roughly a +4 on block, and if you have like a 7-frame normal, you can stop someone from rushing down back. But Cag with the slightly slower mid-range buttons, unfortunately, still has to hold a bit of RPS there. And,
oh, got caught in the low. That's going to finish it off easy money. It's not going to be difficult. Zerom there, first game.
Yeah, first game going the way of Zerom. With again, a pretty big sequence coming out, and that's what you're going to see quite frequently. We mentioned earlier, Cagliostro's defense, not always the strongest. And Charlotta, of course, a little bit known for her offensive gameplay. Tons of chip damage, tons of plus frames. Just really likes to hit your block, so...
Ooh, yeah. Right there, just a bit too far away on the tick throw setup. And Zerom's going to use that to take the offensive back. Okay, tries to go for dodge twice, but dodges a little bit too early. Wavy is starting to seem a bit antsy on the defense.
Yeah, Zerom maybe figuring out her habits a bit. Adjusting his pressure accordingly and getting some of the rewards. But we've been seeing he's been struggling just a bit at this neutral game up until just now, reacting to the spear with a super. Very impressive stuff.
Yeah, and try to use the OS right there unblocked. Oh, but yeah, there it is. Try to use the rush down to be able to get through, but was already jumping is Zerom. Another round on the board and is trying to speed run through here.
Yeah, Zerom may be adjusting to these defensive rushdowns and doing good work baiting them out.
Already calculated. Okay. Yeah, just trying to use that safe pressure on the frame traps, right? Really trying to bait out something from Zerom. But Zerom seems to be picking and choosing the right defensive options, when to press the buttons. You know, we call it a barre over here in the anime land.
Yeah, Zerom doing an excellent job on defense, not biting too heavily on Wavy's frame traps, and gets the throw bait. So getting a knockdown here. And baits the OD again. We saw it just now in the set with Wavy Deity. You're not able to use OD on Zerom like that. When he's looking for it, you've got to be a little trickier.
Yeah, Zerom seems to be just privy to possible OD timings. And I guess, you know, if you kind of check the block strings, you'll notice that Zerom, when the OD is available, has kind of been checked a lot. You'll notice you'll see the close L's, and you'll see that just be most of the guard string. And that's because, like, you know, that's where the input is coming in for the OS.
Right, Zerom covering with both the OS, and we saw a reaction one earlier, showing that he doesn't just want to lose to the system mechanics, right? You're going to have to show him just a little bit more what your character can do. Baits the DP, though, and gets a nice punish.
Yeah, normally that's a situation where you can, you know, easily deal with the portals as the Charlotta player, but, you know, Wavy privy to that, and has now, yeah, just used that far H. There's the full confirm here. It's going to be good damage here on the Super Skybound art.
This is should wrap up the round for Wavy. Very short, nice short combo, very unscaled. SSBA doing huge chunks of damage.
Yeah, I mean that's what it's there for, right?
I think a little bit differently from the winner set. We're seeing Zerom pick and choose his jumps just a little differently. Being maybe just a little bit out of range for Wavy's 2Hs, or she's not quite ready for them.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that you take from a set that you've already played, right? You ran into situations where your jumps are getting destroyed, and so you need a way to be able to fix that. And so Zerom, you know, just trying to do adjust. And you're also seeing that a bit on Wavy's side, right? The block strings are a bit different. There's a lot more jumping, though, in response, probably looking for air-to-airs.
Yeah, that Catalytic Surge on Medium is a great air-to-air choice, but unfortunately for Wavy, Zerom is identifying the jumps, just getting under her with either a ball or run, and then dealing with her on the way down.
Yeah, and that's a classic Charlotta strategy, right? Is to kind of like back up and force the opponent to think, oh, okay, you're backing up. I should, you know, try to set up or get my resource or what have you, and then, you know, use the EX Charlotta ball and then free wall bounce into death.
Yeah, I mean, the second Charlotta gives you an inch of space, you really need to be thinking about what's coming next. Sometimes it's that Charlotta ball.
Yeah, that's one of the nice things about being able to see characters cooldowns, right? Because you know it's available. But oh, there's that punish right there. We talked about that a bit previously, is being able to punish this once the plus frames here and to keep the corner. But there it is. The jump gets caught this time, whereas we saw that was a bit of trouble for Wavy previously. And catching that jump is going to keep the first set alive for Wavy, as it is now 2-1.
Yeah, and that really can be the difference maker with these Charlotta matchups. We talked a bit about her being difficult to anti-air. You know, she gets a lot from her jumps. Obviously, her pressure game is very good, so you don't just want to block it out. But we mentioned it is difficult. But the one thing about Charlotta is she doesn't have a lot of ways of mixing up her air trajectory, so it's very reliable.
Oh, and there it is. There is that parry. That is what Zerom has been trying to do numerous times to be able to catch a lot of these teleports or jumps. And then, you know, previously Wavy was not pressing a button on the way down, and it was not really working out. But the 2H again losing there to the jump in.
2H just a little bit late. Fortunately for Wavy, Zerom not closing it out with a full combo, but definitely in a bad spot here, cornered. Until we're landing this Mayhem. Now, just looking for one more hit to close out the round.
The universal overhead when you least expect it. No one's going to know that universal overhead's happening right then and there.
Yeah, and you saw there, Zerom was playing totally patiently, too. It wasn't like a overhead that beat a throw. He was down backing. He was waiting to block and not quite able to react to the overhead in time. Gets the round almost stolen from him.
Well, I mean, Wavy's going to need that because Zerom is, again, on reset point, or, well, reset game, excuse me, and, you don't want to have that set advantage gone. It's definitely helpful to have that.
Yeah, if you're in Wavy's position here, you're definitely hoping to run it back 3-2, not have to deal with the reset grand finals, and she's in a good position for that.
The push away happens from the overdrive now. Any of these hits is going to be just gigantic damage for Zerom. I mean, luckily you're in the mid-screen, right? So there's no corner wall bounce. It's going to take away a little bit, but it's still going to be hard-pressed to find a good situation to mess up.
Yeah, both players are honestly roughly one hit from dying. Wavy scoring the hit with the TK teleport into a falling jump normal. Just a simple combo in the super is going to give her that round and tie things up 2-2.
2-2 at this point. Now we are on a tournament game and, tournament reset game on the other side for Zerom. But there's, half the life gone at the very beginning of the round. Such a strong start for Wavy. He's going to be able to get a lot of chip on this. Trying to set up the RPF situation. But again, the 2H loses to another jump out of the corner. The timing is just so unfortunate here for Wavy. Not being able to get it in time because of the slower speed. But there's one.
Yeah, that one's going to be huge. Any opportunity to escape the corner like that is much needed against Charlotta. And getting the confirmation of lights into super, just barely enough to seal it out. That sort of distance. Cat getting the reduced damage on the super, but Zerom's health low enough for her to take the win.
Ooh, yeah,
and now we see Wavy on a tournament point.
Yeah, this is just one more round right now for Wavy to be able to take this whole thing. Okay, there's the Holy Ladder to be able to get away from the pressure. Yeah, recognizing the spacing. When you're far enough away after something like that and you get to back tech, a lot of people like to press a button or set up their resource again. So there's that EX. Oh, but again, just a bit too far away for Wavy to be able to get the throw. Anti-air, though, after the back shift.
Yeah, huge anti-air. Not able to convert, but more than happy to reset to neutral.
Yeah. Oh, no, the punish on the sweep because there was no, cancel, excuse me. Oh, but there it is!
The counter hit far heavy going to combo into that Mayhem on the ground. To take the tournament for Wavy. Congratulations to our champion Wavy for sure.
So Wavy is going to be the first champion of the East Side for the Granblue Fantasy versus Community League. So that again, everybody in this league ended up getting prizes, right? Because everybody got a skin for signing up. But Wavy is going to be getting real nice and sitting real nice and pretty in terms of qualifying for the actual finals, right? For the Community League, because remember, you're trying to qualify.
Yeah, no, I mean, she's definitely happy to make it all the way to first. Like you said, everyone gets the colors, but only one player qualifies for the finals. I'm sure the other players we saw today are going to be coming back just as strong, if not stronger, though, in the next East Coast qualifier that is being held.
Yeah, and so I mean there are more qualifiers, and it's not just the East Coast that gets qualifiers, right? We do have some in the West. There's South. There's also the EU qualifiers. We have some for the Asia regions as well, and you guys can check that out if you're watching from home. You didn't know about the Community League until just now, and you want to join. Well, you can do exactly that. You can go to bit.ly/GBVS League. That's GBVS League. For Granblue Fantasy Versus, of course. And you can check out the rules, see which one of the regions that you're allowed to enter, and then for signing up and for playing your matches in the league, you're going to get one of those skins at least. But I know that you can make it far. I believe in you. I'm sure Zombie believes in you.
Always. I always believe in you. Yeah, next... oh yeah, and here's those skins you're just talking about, the exclusive in-game skins for all entrants, regardless of whether you make it far or if you maybe have a bit of a rough bracket. You do get one of these colorblind friendly black and white skins, and this is currently the only way to get it here. So
yeah, and you had mentioned previously that these skins were also in the Side Games League, but there was no way to acquire these outside of that, right? Well, now here's another way to be able to get these skins right here. I personally, I think a lot of people already know that I nabbed up the Narmaya skin as quickly as possible. But yeah, you can see the bracket right there. And I gotta say again, congratulations to Wavy making it there to grand finals, taking it, not even taking that reset, right? And especially versus Zerom, who you had mentioned defeated Wavy at Evo, and also throughout this entire bracket had not lost a game up until that point.
Yeah, he was looking unstoppable leading into winners finals, and Wavy said, "Hold on, we're not going to have any of that. Going to, you know, turn things around, make it a reversal from Evo, prove maybe that, she's not going to take the same loss twice. You're going to have to adapt if you want to beat her in tournament again, and that's exactly what we saw. But obviously no slouch from Zerom. They were very close games. Definitely could have gone either way.
Yeah. Yeah, so just to recap, our top four was in first place, it was Wavy. Second place, Zerom. Third place, Wavy Deity, which is the brother of Wavy, just, so there's no confusion. And then in fourth place, Apple for You, aka Guard User. And so that was our top four, having to go through just an onslaught of a lot of really strong competitors that you see in the offline Granblue scene, as well as the online Granblue scene, of course, because it's a very tight-knit community, and it is one that grinds very hard, because, Zombie, you were saying it earlier, you get rewarded for grinding this game out, and you get rewarded heavily.
Yeah, absolutely. Practice goes a long way with any fighting game, but especially with Granblue Fantasy versus, Wavy was... she won here today, but before Granblue, I don't think she played too many fighting games. We talked about it some before, and she said, casually, when a new Mortal Kombat comes out, but this was her first serious one. We saw that she showed up to play and was able to secure a spot in the regional finals, so very impressive stuff.
Yeah, it's an easy game to pick up. It's a hard game to master, but you too can join us here in the Granblue Fantasy Versus League trying to master this game. By just going to bit.ly/GBVS League to sign up for your region's qualifier, maybe even making it to the regional finals and being able to pick up not just the skin prizes, but the monetary prizes available to you. You guys can check out what those may be over on the GBVS League. Again, bit.ly/GBVS League. Zombie, I want to thank you so much for joining us here. It's been an absolute pleasure to have your insight as one of the strongest players here in North America. And do you have anything else to say?
Yeah, I mean, the games were great, and there's going to be more great games. You mentioned the URL already, but just for some folks on the stream, that is the next week's event is actually the North event.
Yes.
So that includes most of the Midwest of the United States, and then also sort of the that area of Canada, the Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario. So take a look if that sounds like you, and make sure to register, because the registration deadline is coming up soon.
Yeah, and I mean, you'll be seeing the top four of pretty much all of these regionals here on this stream right here versus Asia, and you'll also be able to catch the VODs later if maybe you just missed it. Maybe you're watching right now, I don't know. Hey, thanks for watching the VOD. But yeah, so that is going to be it for us for this regional qualifier, but there is going to be more coming up, just like Zombie said. It's going to be the north side, and that will be, I believe it's next week. If I'm remembering correctly, that's the 17th?
Yes, it should be on the 17th at 4 p.m. Central. That's when the top four stream will be.
So, do your time conversions. Make sure to get signed up right now if you're in that region, because that's when you're going to be seeing us next. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much, Zombie Moo, for being here with us and giving us the insight. And we will catch you on the next Granblue Fantasy versus Community League stream. So keep it locked and loaded, and we'll see you on the next one.